recorded those clips that you just saw at the beach. It's Tuesday and that was filmed Saturday. So I kind of wanted to film this video just because my life has changed a lot. My daily life has changed since I moved from Toronto to the middle of nowhere, and moved to Toronto to the literal middle of nowhere in America. So, you know, things I do to occupy my time have changed quite a bit, and I think this would be useful anyway to people who are in lockdown in whatever countries you are, if you're trying to find things to do and books and TV shows to watch and read. I'm just gonna mention to you recommend some things that I've been loving, show you guys what I kind of do throughout the day. This is very casual, you know what I'm saying? No pressure here, no pressure here, you know? Today I had online classes till like 2. My days usually go is that I wake up, do online school till about like 3, do some assignments. After that, I usually like clean my room a little bit. I'm like organizing it every day. I'm like a cleaning freak. So I do that almost every day. I do Korean lessons at 8 by myself every day. I started that. That's my 2021 goal. I want to start learning Korean. Hopefully I'll be fluent in like 2 to 3 years. I really hope so. All I know is 안녕하세요 and 감사합니다 and just random stuff like please give me my food. 음식을 주세요. See, now that one's a little bit tricky because I was practicing my pronunciation for that phrase and I accidentally said please die. So if I just said that and you speak Korean, let's move past that. Let's start a new chapter, alright? You know what I'm saying? So I do that and I work out. So every day for my workouts, I've just been dancing. Dancing is so much fun, and this is not the reason I exercise, but I have lost like quite a bit of weight since like dancing almost every single day. It's so fun. It's such an emotional release. Girl, I'll be balancing and aligning my chakras. You know what I'm saying? Let's collect ourselves. I'm gonna be recommending some books and talking about some books that I'm reading right now. I have just a little pile right here. I read 30 books in 2020, and the year before I read like 2. So this is a really big jump. This is a great accomplishment. My goal for 2021 is 40 books, and that's a bit much because I feel like this year is gonna be jam-packed with a bunch of stuff because I'm a senior in high school. We're graduating, we're going up, sis. So I might be booked and busy. I'm gonna recommend some of my favorite books from 2020 and one that I'm reading right now. So shall we start? Okay. So this is actually the last book I read in 2020. I read it like a few days before New Year's, and this is Film for Her by Orion Carlotto. I read her previous poetry book called Flux, and I didn't really like it that much. It seemed very like Tumblr poetry, like really cheesy. But girl, she really stepped up her game in this one. This one has beautiful film images that she's taken herself. The cover's so beautiful. It's like this suede, like, I don't know if you can see that, like corduroy material. It's so pretty. And the poems in here, top tier. Like usually I love writing poetry, I love reading poetry, but I haven't really expanded my horizons. I read a lot of Patti Smith poetry, so you know, I was excited to try another one of her books out because I love her Instagram and she seems like a really cool person. So I was so happy to see that she's improved. Just look at that. That's so pretty. This book feels like an art gallery in a book. You know what I'm saying? Great poetry. It'll have you feeling something. I definitely recommend this. And this is beautiful. Even if you don't want to read it, which you should, you can just leave it as a beautiful coffee table book. I love that. Next, this book blew my mind, sis. I read it because Damon Dominique He's a YouTuber. He's a travel YouTuber. He recommends this like crazy. So I read it. It took me some time to read it. It's a pretty like small book. It's not too big, but like the content in here is really heavy and you want to absorb all of the information. And there's just so much like in-depth, deep spiritual analysis that'll literally have you reprogramming your whole brain and existence by the end of it. And I kind of love that, you know, when we have time on our hands, why not just press the reset button in your whole brain? So I loved it. I gained so much life lessons in here. I think if you're gonna read any self-help book, this is the one to read. It's a big jump if you're new to self-help, but if you just kind of want to transform your life, read that. Next two are quite different. 1984 by George Orwell. I don't know if I talked about this in another video, but this book also blew my mind. This is a classic. I read it for funsies. It was great. I think it's kind of spooky to read it now because there's lots of similarities with how new technology nowadays kind of promoting this kind of theme of surveillance. Like you always feel like someone's watching you. Like now, I always like cover my phone, like camera, my computer camera, like if I'm changing or something like that and I have music playing, like I just get so freaked out. I just feel like someone's like watching me. And this book, it was written so long ago, but a lot of the quotes in here and how civilization was in this book like parallels so much to what's happening now. It's really scary. Like there's some scary similarities. I think this is a great book to refer back to when for people to realize what could happen if we continue the way we are now, and just having that separation of privacy and technology, that would be great. This is a splendid book if you also want to rethink about everything in life. The next one, Find Me by Andre Aciman. Y'all see that? Y'all see that? Huh? I'm getting teary. I just think, I'm getting teary-eyed just thinking about this book. Oh my gosh. So this is a sequel to Call Me By Your Name. I talked about Call Me By Your Name so much on this channel. You'll probably think I am one of those girlies who's obsessed with Timothée Chalamet. I'm not. No. I don't swing that way. But I appreciate the thought. He's a good-looking man, though. Anywho, it's just literature. Literature, je ne sais quoi. Je ne sais quoi. Amazing. Literally, this makes me reminisce about a romance that's not even mine. Like when I read this, I feel like I'm super nostalgic. Like that feeling of nostalgia, past memories, heartbreak, and the ending is so satisfying. Like Andre Aciman did not disappoint with this one. Read Call Me By Your Name first and then read this one. It won't disappoint you. Book I'm currently reading. I literally just started it. I'm on like page 44. And that's The Queen's Gambit. Have you seen this show? Have you seen this show? I'll wait. If you haven't, it's time to go to www.netflix.com and start watching it. I've watched it 2 times. I never rewatch shows or movies, or unless it's like Harry Potter, we're done with J.K. Rowling, or any other things. Like I just don't really rewatch movies that much unless they're my absolute favorite. And this show, it's Anya Taylor-Joy put a ring on my finger immediately. Cinematic masterpiece. Says I can't be the film major that does this. I can't be the one that labels everything as cinematic masterpiece, but guess what? We're doing it on this one. This show blew my mind. The acting, the scripts, the cinematography, the costume design. Sis, I wanted to be a 1965 girly over here without the oppression. Amazing show. I love the book so far. It's really similar. It's like almost exactly the same to the show so far, except for one like pretty big thing. But the show is incredible. I recommend everyone to watch it. It's about a chess prodigy, and I don't know anything about chess, but this show made me start playing chess. Like I literally play chess for fun sometimes with my little brother and girl. Get me to play chess? Oh no. But it's fun. They made chess feel thrilling, like a psychological thriller, like as if you're in a car speed chase. No more Fast and Furious. What was Fast and Furious was a way Beth Harmon was fooling y'all chess players. That's what was Fast and Furious. Anywho, watch that. I'm living. And another show I recommend is Next in Fashion. It's a fashion designing competition show. You'll fall in love with all the designers. They're so nice. They're so cute. I love them all. And you know, for funsies, let me show you my Korean books. It's actually a really big thing now. A lot of people are learning Korean, especially this year. Like, a lot of YouTubers I watch, they just started to learn Korean just like me, and I feel like this would maybe be a valuable resource if you're interested in learning Korean. I recently got into the world of K-pop. I'm a Blackpink stan, and I'm not mad about it. And I'm starting to listen to Red Velvet. I've never listened to BTS before except for one song, so I think I might make that into a separate video where I react to their songs for the first time. But I've just been watching a lot of Asian programs like Youth With You season 2 because Lisa was on there, 4Try, just like a lot of Chinese shows. And I just started watching K-dramas, and I've always wanted to learn an Asian language just because Asian culture has always been super interesting to me in learning about world history and world religions, and I always knew I wanted to learn an Asian language. I just could never choose one because there's so many, like Japanese, Mandarin, there's Cantonese, Korean, so many things, Tagalog, like, girl, there's just so many. So I think I finally, you know, have been dedicated to Korea because I just love their culture, the fashion, the music, the movies, Parasite, wow. It's just incredible. So that's why I started learning it. I'm just interested in the culture, and I really want to live there at one point. I know the film industry is huge there, and I want to live there for a few years, do an internship there maybe, so that's why I wanted to learn it. So when you start any language, I think it's important to come up with a reason about why you're doing it and kind of have that as a motivation for the whole time, because it's pretty hard. I started a Notion page. I might link it down below. It's where I put all of my Korean lessons, so if you want to start learning, I put lessons there, units. Not all of it's finished, so I think maybe when it's completely done. I think once I've completely finished setting up like the Notion page and all of the units and all of the lessons, and all the links it needs, I think I'll probably share that with you guys because Notion has been a humongous help. I'm not sponsored by them. I'll link some videos on how to make Notion pages, but I organize like everything on there, like my finance tracker, my to-do list, my YouTube to-do list, language learning, everything. So that's been a huge help as well. A YouTuber who teaches Korean named Kali, I'll link her down below or put a picture here, and her YouTube channel name. She's been a humongous help in wanting to learn Korean. And I recently invested in the Talk to Me in Korean workbooks. I think they're like the #1 language learning site for Korean. So I've been starting Hangul Master. So this is like the Korean alphabet essentially. So it teaches you how to read this basically using different sounds and the pronunciation. So I'm almost halfway through it, and that's just what I've been using. So, and I also got 2 level 1 workbooks because I think the most important level is level 1 because you're like setting a foundation for your language learning. So I have the first book and I have this other level 1 workbook, so this has been a huge help. So if you're interested in that, these are the ones that I use. I just started, so I'm just learning everything in Hangul, so it's just been so fun. And I think learning a language is a great way to use your time, especially now, like if you're stuck in quarantine or lockdown. It definitely takes up a lot of your time. You're learning something new, and if you're interested in traveling once it's safe out there, this is just a great way to do it. I'm done with schoolwork for today. The only thing that's really left on my to-do list is to exercise. So I think I might do that after I clean this mess that I've just made of all my books. So this is the time of the day where I usually work out. Like I said before, all I do is dance. I stretch and then I just do a bunch of choreographed dances. End the video now, just so y'all aren't left hanging. So thank you for joining with me and watching the clips at the beach and listening to my book recommendations and my spiel about learning Korean. So I'm just gonna go be fit or whatnot. Ciao.